While there aren't too many seats left on the Formula One grid for 2025 that aren't yet decided, one of those is for the second Audi Sauber seat. Now obviously this seat will still be Sauber in 25, but in 26 it'll become Audi, and Audi of course heavily involved in the team already, and they've been making some big moves, not only with their driver lineup, because they have Nico Hulkenberg confirmed for one of those seats, but also off the track as well. You've got Mattia Binotto coming in as a chief operations and technical officer, and also Jonathan Wheatley joining from Red Bull in 2026 as their team principal. But the second seat is still not decided, and I've seen quite a few rumours recently that a certain Sebastian Vettel might come back to Formula One to fill that. So I'm going to ask the question, how likely is this? Do I think it's a good idea? How is it likely to work out? I've got everything in with this. I'm just going to kind of explain my thoughts on it really, because particularly in the Austrian media, for some reason the Austrians really on this. They love a good rumour at the end of the day. I've noticed that while covering Formula One as much as I have done recently. You know, that they're the ones who are saying that this might happen. Now, Vettel by no means is ancient, he's been out of the game for a few years now. I think he's only like 37, 38, something like that. So he's younger than the likes of Alonso and Hamilton, and he's not that much older than the likes of Bottas and Ricciardo either. So by all means, he absolutely can come back to Formula One if he wants to. He's still got that super license, that's never going to go away. Of course, Sebastian Vettel is a 4-time Formula One champion, one of the most successful drivers in the history of the sport. Had a lot of success winning all his 4 championships with Red Bull back in the day, and of course was a much loved driver at Ferrari as well, challenging for the championship in both 2017 and 2018. And had things worked out slightly differently, he could have easily won a 5th world championship in either of those years, in my opinion. Is he likely to come back? Well, you have to look at the reasons why he left in the first place, really. I mean, he kind of pretty much said it. He wants to spend more time with his family, he wants to just relax. He doesn't want to put himself in danger. Now, some people might think, well, Formula One, isn't it meant to be incredibly safe? And, well, yeah, of course it is. Of course it's safe. But still, accidents do happen. People still do get pretty seriously injured in Formula One. It does happen. I mean, I wouldn't say seriously injured, but obviously Ricciardo had that pretty nasty crash where he hurt his wrist quite severely and had to miss a good 5-6 races for Liam Lawson because of that. It's not unheard of for there to be these horrible crashes in F1 these days. Now, thankfully, we've gone pretty much 10 years now with without anybody passing away. That, of course, being Jules Bianchi, who suffered a horrible crash back in 2014 and passed away the following year in 2015 as a direct result of that. But that of course is something that will have affected Seb, because he was racing in Formula One at that time. He was racing for Ferrari at that time, the team that Bianchi was effectively on loan from when he was in the Marussia when he had his crash. So in that sense, there's obviously the school of thought that says that his reasons for leaving have not changed. But then again, on the other side of things, he might still have the itch. He might still have the urge, and he might need to scratch that itch, if you know what I'm saying. He's spent all of his life pretty much racing. That's been his only job ever since he was a little kid in karting. That was always his dream. His dream was always to go to Formula One and emulate his hero, Michael Schumacher. And he did that. Obviously did not match Michael's totals, but, he did really good. Over 50 wins, 4 world championships. Not bad. Not too many drivers have done that other than him. So, and he's had a few years out of the game as a result. I think, when did he retire now? Was it end of 21, end of 22? I always get mixed up, but it's been a couple of years either way. And in that time, he might well have just kind of realised, I still love this. I still want to do this. How can I get back? And if he's going to come back, you'd think he'd come back for a team that has manufacturer backing, that has its own works engine, that has a very ambitious project of getting into Formula One and winning the whole thing. Not dissimilar to what Red Bull did when he entered Formula One, when he was in the Red Bull Academy, when he first came to Formula One. I mean, initially he was at Sauber, but then he eventually went to Toro Rosso, which are the Red Bull Junior team, what are now known as RB. When they were doing that, they were just starting up. They were just wanting to get into the sport and actually win it. At that time, Red Bull were not a winning outfit when Seb signed on to their junior program, but they became a winning outfit and they won those world championships because of him. For the longest time, Vettel was the only Red Bull world champion. Only in the last few years has Max Verstappen eclipsed that sort of record. He might well match Seb's 4th world title this season too. So I think there's every chance that in his own head he might want to come back, but will Audi want him? It's debatable. I mean, it's a massive name. It's a huge marquee for you to sign a German Formula One champion. The only German Formula One champion that's realistically available. Of course, Nico Rosberg's still out there, but he too has retired from motorsport. But if I'm being honest, I think that it's unlikely that they'll go for him. I don't really see it, to be honest. I think they'll probably go for someone younger, like a Bortoletto that's been rumoured about, like a Porsche who's already in their driver academy, somebody like that. Hell, even, well, maybe not Antonelli. Antonelli's going to Mercedes, let's be honest here. But, you know, I don't really see them going for Vettel, or maybe they'll stick with one of the incumbents, Guan Yu Zhou, or more likely Valtteri Bottas. I don't really see them going for Seb, to be honest. I'll be surprised if they do. Stranger things have happened in Formula One, of course, but I'll be honest with you, this one gets a thumbs down from me. I don't think it's going to happen, but watch this space. It could well surprise you, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on this as well, of course. Keep it tuned to the F1Chronicle.com to see much more rumours and news stories with Formula One. We're getting closer to being back for Zandvoort this upcoming weekend, and of course, comment, like, share, subscribe, follow, and ring the bell as well to see much more F1 content just like this.